sir, with the Google Glass, which, by the way, is both the future and the past. Which is amazing technology.
No, it's still the future. They have to do it in new glasses with Luxottica. But anyway, I had a Google tech problem. Sorry, I had to leave. My question is about reinventing the wheel. How we can avoid reinventing the wheel. You have GE. Your recent acquisition also makes you a leader in hydroelectric power. I think you have like $4 billion of back orders of just Tunisia and West Africa, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire. Mr. Crane from Exelon is working very closely with Enel and A2A. The Italians are the leaders in smart technologies and smart cities. How can we avoid just using our experience of, Tunisia created the solar energy business 25 years ago. How can we use those knowledges of these markets and bring it back to the States, avoiding huge overspends and useless R&D when there's already solutions out there that both of you can use, both in the largest economy in the world, we can use from these developing countries, developing economies?
I'll take that. Well, as I've mentioned, the beauty of the utility industry, excuse me, is that we actually collaborate on a lot of this, like through the Electric Power Research Institute, which is an international research institute. So we see what's happening around the world. To me, following up on what Chris said, the challenge is not to try and boil the ocean. Digitization is a massive thing. So prioritizing what the most valuable applications are that will provide customer value are the ones that we're focusing on at first. And we're going to learn a lot more along the way. In terms of whether all the other non-traditional players are going to come in, I think by design they will be. For example, the Predix platform and the way we're doing it is that it is a platform. Think of it as the iPhone, right? It's the iOS. GE is developing apps like APM, Asset Performance Management, one of the apps for Predix. But we work with Empress, the Israeli company who did our transformer command and control system. That's another app. And we're going to be developing other apps, not just with GE, but with other companies. And GE is doing that themselves for Predix. So this is a kind of an open innovation model that's going to support everybody.
Maybe just a couple thoughts on that. I mean, you're right. When we brought in Alstom and GE together, we even more diversified, but as I mentioned earlier, 30% of the world's electricity with our customers comes from GE, 40% of the servicing of the equipment, of all equipment in the world, regardless of whether it's GE or not, is coming from GE. And I go is, there's a lot of learning that comes with that, and there's a lot of opportunity that comes with that. Two things that we're trying to do to help continue the kind of flow and the adoption of digital, one of which is we host Minds and Machines sessions. These are events that we started 5 years ago. Chris, you were just at that. Gil, you were there, but just hosting what are people doing. We not only host them in the U.S. First time I went 4 years ago, I think we had 100 people. We probably had to break 5 people's arms to show up. This last time was 4,000 people. We now do them in Berlin. We now do them in Middle East. We do them in China. We do them all over the world. But the other thing we do is we showcase what customers are doing, which is all about deployment. And I would say more and more we run hackathons, which means not cyber, like what can we co-create together. And I think more so than any technology we've seen in our history, from gas to coal to nuclear, et cetera, people are learning globally on this one. So I think our role is to just sponsor events that allow that to happen, in the information to flow. And even in the U.S. Minds and Machines Conference, which are a digital conference, many customers there are not based in the U.S. So these are very much global conferences.